Hello, welcome back. At least I hope you're back. A couple of days ago, I did a guide for GT4 on Daytona. I thoroughly enjoyed doing so I figured that I might just do another one. And recently, I drove on my alternate account. I drove 2 races on the Oulton Park with the MX5. Figured that I could help some guys out which are in rookie class and might need a little bit of extra pace, or at least need some guidance. So I'm not saying I'm the Almighty God, but I hope you guys enjoy this one, and I hope at least I help some guys out. So this is me starting the lap. Before I start the lap, I always do the same thing. I take the last corner very slow and try to get the best run out of it, so to get the extra pace on it. So this is me starting all the way on the left. What I do here is I'm looking for this sign, and once I pass this sign, you see I start braking, and I start braking very hard, and the thing is not running with us. Start braking very hard, really on 100%. You can't lock the tires in this one, in this car, so you can just utilize everything you got. Lifting off a bit and trying to get the angle in, and I'm trying to aim my right tire towards the curbstone and follow the turn. I am a little bit far to the left here. I want to be more on the right, so I can be as straight as possible when coming out, because there's an off track on the left. If you go a little bit wide on this one, you get the off tracks and the lap is discounted. So I took this one fairly safe. I do want to point out that when doing so, I like I said in the last video, I tried to straighten my car straight away. So I straighten it up. I know the upcoming corner is a right-hander, so I'm sticking to the right, and don't want to touch this curb. This curb will send you off a bit to the left. So just avoid that, stay on the right, and there's a little dip on that second sector. There's a little dip. It's right there. You see the car going down, and basically right before that dip is, you see me coming down, and that's my braking marker. Like when you dip down, I start braking, and I don't brake on 100% here. I just want to ease off and bleed off the brakes. So I turn in, I go a little bit wide to get the good exit, and then I want to hold my left tire on this curbstone. But watch out, there's a little bump here on the left as well, a little hill. And don't touch that. Well, if you touch that, you're gonna lose the speed. So I stick all the way to the left without hitting that bump, without hitting that little hill, and wash out to the right. And again, there's an off track on this side. And whilst I'm in the middle of the corner and building up this corner, you see I'm playing with the throttle. You can clearly see it on the telemetry. I noticed that I was going too hard, and I had to ease off a little bit and even apply some little brake pressure to get the best turn in. And the reason I did apply this is to make sure that the car is turning while I'm driving. That's my email. So I'm going all the way out, sticking on all the way to the right, touching that curb a little bit, but not too much, because if you hit that cobbled section, you're getting off track. Completely flat out, obviously. Stay on the right, because you're already thinking about the next corner. I'm thinking, oh, this corner is going to be a left one, so I'm sticking to the right. The thing I did wrong when I started racing or playing iRacing, I always left a lot of space on the side of the track, and I don't want to do that. I'd like to be, well, safe, but far to the right. It's almost like your driving instructor telling you, at least here, on the guys who drive on the right side, stay all the way to the right, because that's the place you want to be on when you're driving. So upcoming to the left-hander, you see this road, and basically this is my braking marker. You can brake further back, but if you do so, you risk washing out to the right. So if you want to do it safe and fast, I cross this road, and halfway on the road, when I can't see the exit of this road again, and my hood is passing it, I start braking, and start braking a little bit to get the speed off. And I want to stick it to the left, all the way on the left on the curb. Utilize this bit of grass. There is an X right there, but if you do it, don't overdo it, you don't get the X. All the way flat down again. And then you got this real hard braking zone where you can win a lot of time. So I passed this tire mark on the left. And basically when I pass it, and I'm sure that my rear has passed it, I'm braking in. So you can, if you think this is too late, you can just use this tire wall to calculate where you start braking. I brake in, turn in the car, and there's a lot of camber on this one. It's almost like driving on an oval. So I keep it wide a little bit. Wash out a little bit, and then halfway through, when there's this kind of square thing here, this pole passes this square thing on the left where the tires were, and then I'm going back on the throttle. And this part of the turn is where you win most of the time. You really need to stick it in there. Just hold it on the camber, keep the car on the camber. If you go any higher than that, you will wash out to the left and lose a lot of time. So try to stick close to this curb and be safe on this exit as well. Don't overdo it on this curb because there's an X here, obviously. And here comes one of the most tricky corners. This chicane where you're driving up towards. This, I even struggled with this one. I could not find a braking marker, so I started doing this on pure gut feeling. The track goes like a nest, right? But the fastest way through is straight through because you need to go to the right again. So I'm trying to get as close as possible to this tire wall without touching it. Quick reminder: when you touch a tire wall in iRacing, you're dead. Especially on the older tracks like this on Oulton. I stick on the left, and the car starts to wobble a bit. And you see me applying a lot of brake here. I'm at 100%, like a full second. Here I'm backing off a little bit and noticing I got too much speed and correcting it with the steering wheel a bit. And I want to get as close as possible to this tire wall again. Again, watch out. If you don't want to take the risk, go a little bit wider, but this is the fastest way to do it. And once I feel like I'm almost hitting it, I'm going back on the throttle to make sure that my car is going wide. Don't hit this curb too hard, otherwise you will bounce off to the right. Going in a straight line again. And again, try to open up the steering wheel as fast as possible to get a much straight line speed on it. Yeah, this is just a flat part, obviously. Again, you see me going to the left. I'm already thinking about the next corner. I'm staying on the left of this straight. And once I pass this 100 mark, like 10 meters later, I start braking. It's on 70 or 80 meters. I start braking in, again, fully, completely 100%. Noticing that I dropped enough speed, but I lifted it a little bit again. I dropped the brake a bit to get an extra couple of tenths out of it. Bleeding off the brakes real fast, going off throttle again, and this corner, you can take it in second, but you can take it in first. I shift back on the first gear, so I turn in on second and shift back halfway through to get the extra turn in. Completely on the throttle again, and I'm shifting back right here. So this is what I'm doing so I can turn the car as hard as I can now. And you want to stay all the way to the left on this side to get yourself set up for the next corner, which is a right-hander. A common mistake is that you try to take this corner very hard, and it is faster, obviously, but you lose a lot of time on the right-hander, which is coming up there. Basically, you're sacrificing this corner. So I'm trying to get back to the left as soon as possible, turning into the right, trying to hit this curb, but there's a little dimple on this curb. Don't hit that, otherwise you will get a lot of understeer. Oversteer. And get completely on the throttle again. try to hit that curb. Then once you know that you hit that curb, you know you got the good angle on it. Here the track goes to the left a little bit. You see me going straight forward, not following this line obviously because it's the shortest line. Don't hit that curb. And this is actually a very tricky corner. I don't have telemetry. There it is. This is actually a very tricky corner. My braking marker is this ending of the rubber tire zone on that wall. I am almost at that thing, at the right hand side where the tire wall stops, then start braking in and bleeding off the brakes while I turn in. The thing is that you want to stay close on this right side. If you go too wide, you won't get the proper turn in for the double right hander which is coming after this. So I'm sticking right, and as you can see, there's camber on this as well. So you want to stick that right tire on that camber, sticking it on, and once you notice that the car is in the good angle for the turn in, you go flat out. You just go for it. Just try this a couple of times in practice, obviously. You go flat out to the right. And I even left a little bit of a margin again. I could have gone on the throttle sooner. And then you got this bumpy section. I always go to the right a little bit because this bump will slow you down by a minus 1,000th of a second. So just utilize everything you got, get back on it. And once you pass that corner, then it's about a second of count in my head. So I wait a second and a half or something. Is it a second? I believe it's a second. Wait, I'm saying this. So 1, and then I start braking. And again, you see me braking very, very hard, 100%, to really get the speed off. I'm bleeding off the brakes, turning in on the right, trying to hit this curb and get the car in the proper angle. And once you see the car is in the proper angle, watch out for this part, by the way. This is an incident counterpart. So building up the throttle without creating a lot of understeer. And once I know I go downhill, I try to go balls deep, stick it on the left. Again, the shortest line to the line is on the left right here. And basically this is the lap, so that's an 1:52.839. As last time, if you guys have any questions about this, just try to PM me on Discord. We're glad to help you out. I'm just doing this for fun. I hope you guys enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. So I hope to get to see you guys later again. Maybe with another tutorial. I don't know. I just make random content at this point. So this is going to be the fast lap. Well, good luck all. Watch out, don't crash. And, see you guys later. All right, cool.